EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Vikings take over first down 10 at their own 26-yard line.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Open man is Jalen Naylor. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 23 yards on the play.
First down, Minnesota.
I'm sure after he caught the ball and looked up, he thought to himself, uh-oh, trying to find some space, trying to make people miss. But a swarm of defenders were there, and they dropped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage, came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Open man, that's Felton. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down. So a decent gain there, but not their fourth consecutive first down like they had on the first three plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. Two tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Jefferson going to go in motion right. To the air with McCarthy. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
First and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. First and goal. Jones diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Chicago offense set to get started. Looking to put a drive together. On play action, here's Williams. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
2nd and 11 now. From the gun, here's Williams. Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Williams. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So their defense gave up the opening drive touchdown, and now, Charles, they're going to look to work this ball down the field and get the equalizer.
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of balance in how you're thinking and how you're approaching this game, because the way things go in the NFL today, that opening touchdown often changes your strategy. You feel like you have to match everything right here, right now. I like the way they were being methodical on offense here in their first drive, hoping to get the equalizer, but not forcing anything.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Past the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 41 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Luther Burden, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set, and racing going 3 wide is a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Shifts by him. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. Third down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
Now they'll toss to Jones running left. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And Hockenson going to have the Vikings first down as he'll get this down to the 30-yard line.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
On play action, McCarthy. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. It's Gervon Dexter who got in to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Throwing is McCarthy. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
I like the thinking there because right after a sack, it can be a great time to call for a screen to your running back and use the eagerness of the defense against him. Able to gain some positive yards out of this one and make things a little bit easier for him on third down.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth his salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Muscles by at the 25. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, and they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. That's complete. Romadunze. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll be a third and about 13.
Brings up 3rd and 13.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Here's Williams. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That was a corner blitz, and it was Kyler Gordon getting in there for the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's McCarthy. Forced out to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Ryan Wright in punt formation for the Vikings.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And here's Ryan Wright now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Swift. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Williams. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd and 7. To throw, Williams. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up a third down.
That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
To the air, Williams. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. They'll get this to the 24 with 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Again, it's Jones. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 41 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Now McCarthy. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. 3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. Now bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. Looking to put a drive together. Looking to throw is Williams. Throw left side complete. That's more. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down.
2nd and 3 at the 21-yard line.
Back to throw. Williams. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
They run with a 4th-round pick, Roschon Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Working out of the gun, Williams. To the right side, and he's got more complete.
Williams pass. Complete to number 2, DJ Moore. That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he will have the Bears 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
He's got the hook up to Moore. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down.
5-yard gain brings up 2nd down at the 43-yard line.
This is Swift on the counter. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
How about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
3rd and 2.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give him 12 yards that time.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
To the left side, into the hands of Adunze. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Williams now. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to go down. He sack back at the 24. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So on fourth down, Cairo Santos on now for the Bears field goal. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will knot us up at 10. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Oh, he shifts past him. And able to get this out to the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession as we eke closer and closer to intermission. Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to bring up second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To the air with McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. It'll be a gain of 5. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
3rd and 3. Looking to throw McCarthy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing again, McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Felton. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
His throw incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
To throw, it's Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Odunze. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Looking to throw. Williams. And he gets this from the midfield before he's brought down. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Off the play fake, it's Williams. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time, it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. And that one going to come up short, low throw. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he will finally slide to a hole. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
On play action, McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
McCarthy operating from the gun. Open man is Naylor. He's got it. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
Throwing is McCarthy. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Up the middle, Jones. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Record on for the Vikings field goal. A 47-yard attempt.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. To chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Looking to put a drive together. Off the bootleg, it's Williams. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he'll be out right at the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And some room to maneuver. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 78 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level, that offensive lineman or tight end.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Javon Hargrave bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start, and ends up falling incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing is Williams. He's got the connection to Moore. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On for the field goal. A 52-yard attempt.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that's going to tie us at 13. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured bear on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. And now out comes Minnesota. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
That one goes for 24 yards.
24-yard gain on the play. And the Vikings first down.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackled him for just a short gain.
A 55-yard attempt.
And this is off the left upright, and it comes back. It's no good. And we will remain tied here in this third quarter. So a chance to give his guys a second-half lead there, but it goes by the wayside.
And, Brandon, that's the worst sound in the world for an NFL kicker. Gong!
That was good. Do that again.
Gong!
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. Here's Williams. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On play action, here's Williams. That's complete right side to Komet. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
They'll fake the give. Now Williams. He finds his man. Complete. It's Kramer. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. That's to the left side where he's got Naylor. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he is going to lose yardage here. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
18 on the play. 1st down, Minnesota.
One quarter remains here on Sunday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. To the air, Williams. A quick throw there is incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and that'll bring up second down.
24-yard line.
To throw, Williams. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
The offense on third down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw is Williams. And this is going to be incomplete.
We've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It's taken to the 26. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Just because you got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
2nd and 10. And inside give to Jones. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. On the delay, Jones. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. They could be smart.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Looking to put a drive together. They'll go play action here with Williams. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
I can put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Williams. Flush to his right. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? They'll look to throw now on first down. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick, but instead it's 3rd down.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Santos' kick is up and through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Dances by him. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 87 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners.
Grady Jarrett, his 2nd sack of the night.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never brought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Open man, that's Felton. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. Looking to put a drive together. To throw, it's Williams. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. And they've got to go thank the guys on D.
Off the play fake, it's Williams. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick, but instead it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. The Vikings now heading on to the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up second down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. A give to Jones. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? Give them the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And there's Jaquan Brisker getting to him behind the line. Great play by the safety. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Jervon Dexter able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. This will be fielded at the 17. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Bears take over. So now the Bears down by 7. 1:52 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Back to throw. There's a short one caught by Loveland. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Now 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. Runs over. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
For us Chicago Bears. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. They'll look to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
At the 37-yard line.
The drive will start with an option going left. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. The give is to Jones. And he will have a Viking 1st down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And they take a knee. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.